Pro Player Stadium, home of the Miami Dolphins, is the site of our upcoming game. And once again, it's time for Miami and the Jets to continue their ongoing rivalry.
Yeah, these two teams disliked each other, but they played this one game where the Jets had one of the greatest comebacks ever. Well, you talk about adding fuel to the fire. Miami still hasn't forgotten that one.
Al Michaels and John Madden here to broadcast this one, brought to you by EA Sports, the company that defines football.
Boy, the defense has shown in the past how dominant they can be. They're very aggressive, and it seems like all 11 guys are always around the ball. When you have guys flying around, making hits, causing turnovers, it creates a lot of problems for the offense.
The Dolphins' ground game should be a big factor in the outcome of this one. Now, we've talked about the defense that they'll face, and in order to keep them guessing, this offense will look to mix it up with screens and counters. This will force the defense to tone down their aggressiveness and not overplay anything. It should make for a very interesting matchup.
Wow, those guys got to be careful not to get all tired out doing that. You got to save some of that intensity and energy for the game.
The teams have taken the field. We're ready for the kickoff. Let's go to the field. Brian will be kicking off. Nice distance. The offense heads out onto the field for the first time. Only one man in the backfield. Hand it off to the back. Just about 7 yards on that carry. Second and maybe 3. Ball on their own 29. The Jets come out with 8 guys in the box. The pass ball's incomplete. The incomplete pass brings up 3rd down. John, some of the more memorable games in NFL history have been played between these two teams, the Dolphins and the Jets. The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him.
29-yard line.
We'll get the call again. He has some room, runs him over, puts him on the ground. The Dolphins recover. You have to wrap the ball up with 2 hands in games like these.
Yeah, you got to be extra careful. If the ball is wet and you have it hanging out there, the defenders are going to try and punch it out of there every time.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Ball on their own 38. Using motion. Again with the run. Robertson breaks the play up in the backfield. The offensive line looked like they just collapsed on that play.
The offensive line has to get good movement on the snap of the ball for the inside run to work, and it didn't happen on that play.
The Jets come out in a nickel package.
Ball on the 37-yard line.
5th play of this drive. Minimal gain there, and it looks like he's going to go to the sideline for at least a couple of plays. They'll be faced with a long 3rd down play here. Ball on their own 39. Fiedler gets set. Man in motion. Throwing. A little off target, but caught. Gain of a handful.
5-yard gain on the play.
Royal is back to punt. Moss lines up deep for the punt return. Here's the punt. They'll start this one where it went out. The offense is heading out onto the field for their first drive of the game.
First and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line.
Number 16. Sets up. Martin. Only a yard. Not a halfback.
1 yard gain on the play.
Second and 10. Miami comes out in their nickel package.
35-yard line.
He'll get it again. Greenwood stops him at the 36-yard line. Martin was dragged down before he could get to the line of scrimmage.
They have great size and quickness up front. That allows them to hold up against the run while also giving them the speed to rush the passer when they drop back to pass.
Moss goes in motion. Drops back. Throwing. And he hits his target. And he makes the reception, but it's short of the first down marker.
On third down, you need to make sure you know where you are in the field. Because if you make the reception, it should be good for a fresh set of downs. If you make the catch and you don't get the first, it can only be due to lack of concentration by the receiver.
Unable to get anything going on that series, they'll have to punt it away here. Here's the kick. From the 21. The 40. The 50. At the 40. The 30. The 20. A lot of space in front of him. Touchdown, Miami. A sensational punt return for the touchdown.
They sure put the special in special teams after that one. He's got his team going now.
They'll line up for the extra point. The kick is up, and the extra point is good. Punt coverage broke down on that one, John.
Returning kicks and punts is a fielding. First, you got to get under the kick, make sure you have it secured. Then you need to quickly decide where you're going to go with it.
And the kickoff team comes out onto the field.
Number 34.
Not a bad kick. They'll set up for the return. From the 4.
Now it's their turn to do something on offense. They're down by a touchdown early. But these guys have the kind of offense that can score anytime they have the ball.
It's first and 10. Ball on their own 20. Martin couldn't find any room on that one.
They really hustle on the defensive side of the ball. They're very good at clogging up the line, limiting the number of holes and cutback lanes that the back has to choose from.
Under pressure, throws it, has room. He zipped that one right in there.
That's just a great job by the receiver. Not only was he able to make the catch in the rocket, but he was able to pick up some nice yardage too.
The backs are lined up in an I.
Ball on the 31-yard line.
Bring the pain.
They'll pass on first down. Pressure coming. He surveys the field with the pass, and the catch is made. Number 88 ran a nice route on that pass play.
These days, offenses rely on a short, quick pass, and the receiver gaining lots of yards after the catch.
2 yards to go. Ball on their own 39. Using motion. Throwing. And it's complete. Number 16 doing an excellent job on this drive.
Things are really slowing down for him right now. He's seeing the coverage and finding the open man with ease. He's really in some kind of rhythm out there.
The quarterback lines up with two backs behind him.
On the 47-yard line.
Man in motion. Throwing on first down. Slings it to the outside. Good play on that pass.
If he can make catches like that regularly, he can expect to see more passes thrown in his direction.
Miami looks like they're playing the pass as they're lined up in the dime. Incomplete. Third down upcoming after that incomplete pass.
On the play.
Here's a 3rd and long situation. Ball on the 47-yard line. Gets the pass off, and this pass is completed. He did a nice job to bring that one in.
When you make tough grabs like that, the other team really has to dig in there and play some tight coverage.
He'll try to place this one inside their 5. Here's the punt. Fair catch called for. And this one comes back out to the 20. The backs are lined up in an I.
Ball on the 20-yard line.
Using motion. Hand off to the tailback. A 5-yard pickup on that one by the tailback.
5-yard gain on the play.
5 yards to go. Ball on their own 25.
2nd and 5. Ball on the 25-yard line.
Drops back. With the throw. Right to him.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense.
So it's a 15-yard penalty, not the incidental 5-yard face mask.
He's lucky his head's still on the way he got yanked down there.
At the end of one, these teams are separated by just a touchdown. With the score, Miami 7, New York 0. The teams have switched sides and will start the second quarter. Fiedler gets set. He'll bring the blitz. He couldn't come up with the interception.
Yeah, the defender was in a perfect position to come up with a big play. He just left his hands over on the sideline.
He'll go from the I formation. Again, he'll get the call. Carries it for 6 yards on that play. Now let's have a look at what our runners have done up to this point. They need 5. Ball on their own 46.
Let's go, come on. Snake eyes. 90 ball.
Drops back, rolling out to his right. This pass is incomplete. Plenty of pressure, and he barely gets the pass away.
Yeah, it wasn't a sack. What it did was make the quarterback adjust his throw, and it messed up his rhythm.
Royals is looking for a good punt here. Here's the kick. He signals for a fair catch. Penalty marker down.
Holding on the receiving team.
It's 1st and 10. They give it to the halfback, so they'll lose yardage on that tackle by Thomas. Martin couldn't find an opening and was brought down very quickly.
Yeah, he was. This line has to do a better job of holding up at the point of attack. He has a fast first step. He can explode through the hole. And he needs a line to create that little crease or cutback lane to break free.
Crosses it left, hands it off. That one will be a safety.
That defender rarely gets a chance to score points. Seems like he gave it a little extra today.
New York is lined up for the kickoff. Number 32 back to return.
And the free kick is away. From the 39. Breaks the tackle. Miami is looking to extend its advantage as they take over again offensively. First and 10. Ball at midfield. Pressure, throws it into the open. No problem picking up the first.
Yeah, you know, we talk about putting a ball on a guy. The quarterback put that ball on the receiver perfectly.
The backs are lined up in an eye. Williams. Nice play fake. With the throw, it's a fumble. The Jets recover. He got close to the end zone, but he just couldn't hang on to the ball.
And the thing is, the offense is thinking they're about to punch again, and boom. They put the ball on the ground, and then they turn it over with nothing to show for the drive that they were able to put together.
To the air on first down. Gets rid of it. A little behind, but he has it. Now that's a slip. Slips the tackle. Good-looking play.
Hey, I like to see him get the fullback involved in the passing game. He's a pretty good option out of the backfield. He has quick feet, good hands, so passing to him sometimes is a pretty good idea.
So they have first and 10 here. Ball on their own 18. Passing on first down. Gets the pass off. He hits his receiver. Conway beat the coverage on that pass.
Soft hands like that are hard to find. This guy looks like he's a keeper.
Back off, DB. Come on, partner. Get in there. Fire out.
Steps up into the pocket. Throws it. That incomplete pass will bring up third down.
Number 81, the intended receiver on the play. Third and 3. Ball on the 25-yard line.
You got it. Get the ball. Bust this grill, kid.
They give it to the halfback. Gain of about 1. And now our viewers can see how successful each team's main running threat has been today. Straczynski will come into this game to punt. Rogers sets up to run back the punt. Here's the punt. And he chooses not to return this one.
Hey, no reason to take a chance and risk a fumble. Smart move there by the returner.
First and 10. Ball on their own 44.
Here comes the heat. Okay, right. Get him up.
Going to the right. About a 1-yard loss. Now let's have a look at what our runners have done up to this point. The Jets come out with 8 guys in the box. Hand off to the tailback. Great fake. Throwing. Broken up. That short pass incomplete. Brings up a third down play.
On the cover.
Third down and long coming up here.
Come on, partner. Come on, D up. Either way.
Trying something to the left. This one falls incomplete. Going long, but he couldn't find his man downfield, and now they'll face a fourth down. Offense couldn't get it done, and they'll line up to punt. Here's the kick. And he waves for the fair catch. No return here. Back it comes to the 20. Only one man in the backfield.
Ball on the 20-yard line.
Martin refuses to go down. And he's brought down at the 26-yard line. Now let's have a look at what our runners have done up to this point. Second and 4 coming up here. Ball on their own 26. Miami comes out in their nickel package. Closing in, gets the pass off, and the catch is made. Right on the mark there to move the chains.
And the thing is, the secondary looked a little on their heels on that one. They just couldn't converge on the ball in time, and now they get a whole new set of downs.
First and 10. Ball on the 42-yard line.
Passing on first down. Under pressure, rolling left. Tenacious pass rush on that play, John.
Yeah, that's for sure. These guys can really get after the quarterback.
Following the sack, it's second and long. Drops back. Pressure coming. 2 minutes left. Great call by the defensive coordinator.
And this is the type of team that likes to blitz to create pressure. They'll call the cover 2 or cover 3 on passing downs a lot of time, but they also like to bring extra guys on blitzes, trying to mix it up.
The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him. Looking downfield with the pass. Almost picked off, and they almost turned it over.
The thing is, as a defender, you don't get too many shots at an interception like that. You know, he's down there shaking his head trying to figure out why he didn't pick that one off.
So the punt team gets ready as we near halftime. Trzynski lines up in the backfield for the punt. Here's the punt. The officials are trying to determine where it went out of bounds.
One thing they want to avoid is turning it over and setting up the other guys with a chance to get some points.
So they have first and 10 here.
Bring the pain. Set. Give it all you got.
Pressure with the throw. A lot of space in front. Amazing play by McMichael.
The thing is, he got some separation there, and he was able to get him a big chunk of yards.
The Dolphins line up in the shotgun.
Get at him, Pete. Tiger up.
Gets rid of it. Knocked down. Abraham just made a great defensive play.
That's just the kind of play they've come to expect from him. He always seems to make the big play just when they need him to.
I'm sure they'll be going to the air as long as they have the ball. with the pass. A good effort, but he was out of bounds.
If you get the ball to the receiver, he's usually going to make the catch. There's not much he can do if he has to catch the ball out of bounds, though. There's no need for the quarterback to force any throws. There's a whole second half to play, and they don't want to be making any mistakes.
Man in motion. Drops back, guns it left side. The pass falls incomplete. Not much touch on that pass.
He may have tried to put a little too much oomph on that throw.
Time for a punt here as it's now 4th down. He'll try to pin them close to the goal line. Here's the punt. And this punt will sail out of bounds. Should be interesting to see if they want to try to pick up some points before the half or just play it safe and run the ball here on 1st down. It's 1st and 10. Ball on their own 16. So, and he's brought down in the backfield by Marion. Lost about a yard.
Loss of 2 on the play.
Now, the defense just can't be trying to strip the ball here. The last thing they want to do is let him get a 1st down and run out the rest of the clock. If they can hold him these next 2 downs, their offense might get the ball back.
Mark breaks free. Look at that power.
The offense calls a timeout.
3rd and 4. Ball on their own 22. Gets the pass off. Perfect throw. The Jets call a timeout. They have 1 remaining. They're trying to get in range for a last-second field goal attempt before halftime.
Take him out.
Dropping back. Closing in. Throws it. Can't bring him down. You saw the whole field was able to stand back there and find the open man.
You know, when the defense is sending extra rushers at the quarterback, it takes a lot of poise to get the ball out of there with any accuracy.
Get in there.
To the air on 1st down. Hunts surveying the field. Under pressure, looking left for the long pass. That's 3 times in this drive they've been able to pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, and the thing is, they'll be doing more than just picking up 1st downs if this success continues. They're going to be picking up some points.
Hill stopped the clock with the spike. This will be a long field goal attempt, about a 49-yard. And it's up. And the kick sails wide. The end of the 2nd quarter with the score, Miami 9, New York 0.
New York, nothing.
Here are the halftime stats as we get set for the 2nd half kickoff. And the kickoff team comes out onto the field.
Number 84, back deep to return.
Nice catch. Plenty of distance. He'll choose to just down this one and start at the 20. New York has to get to work quickly, trailing by 2 touchdowns. The Dolphins have dominated so far. Now, what do you expect to see from them in the second half?
I'll tell you one thing. The coach really wants this one. He was looking forward to this matchup all week. These guys are really getting it done.
Tosses it right. With the hurt. Loss of about 1.
Loss of 2 on the play. Second and 13. Ball on the 17-yard line.
Here come the heat. Here come the heat.
Throwing short to his left. Runs over the tackle. Gain of 3.
43 makes the reception. 2-yard gain on the play.
And they need about 9. Ball on their own 21. They line up in the I formation. Number 16 sends a man in motion. The throw on the money. He made the reception but couldn't find a way to get past the mark.
When it's third down, you need to make sure that you move the ball past the marker somehow. You got to think that anything less is a bad play or bad execution.
Rodgers sets up, waiting for the punt. Here's the kick. And he signals for the fair catch.
There was no need to try and return that one. He made the right decision there.
They'll go from the I formation.
At the 43-yard line. First and 10.
Williams throws it. The pass ball's incomplete. The quarterback thought he had that one.
You got to deliver the ball out there quickly, but it has to be catchable. You got to use some touch.
Second and 10. Ball on their own 43. Dropping back. Gets rid of it. Almost got it. John, I don't know how they didn't pick that one off.
That's the thing. That was a perfect opportunity to make a big play for his defense. He lets it go as an incomplete pass rather than an interception.
Minor, the lone setback. Chambers, the man in motion. Throwing. This pass is incomplete. A short pass off the mark, and it's now 4th down.
Intended receiver on the play.
So 3 and out, and they'll line up to punt. Here's the punt. And he chooses not to return this one.
That was a smart thing to do with the coverage team closing in for a big hit.
They'll go from the I formation.
At the 15-yard line. First and 10.
Gets rid of it. Incomplete pass. A jarring blow on that one.
Yeah, so good it knocked the ball right out of his hands.
So it's second and 10. Ball on their own 15. Man in motion. Tucks it away. Slips the tackle. The back picks up about 2 on that carry. The Dolphins come out in a nickel package. Throws it. This pass is incomplete. He somehow got that pass off.
And that's a right decision in that case. Get rid of the ball and take the incomplete.
Unable to get anything going on that series, they'll have to punt it away here. Here's the kick, and he waves for the fair catch.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
It's 1st and 10.
You got it. Stay guys.
Williams is the deep back.
Ball on the 44-yard line.
They give it to the halfback. Gain of about 1. Only one man in the backfield. Again with the carry. Puts it on the ground. The Jets. They have to wrap the ball up with 2 hands in games like these.
Yeah, you got to be extra careful. If the ball is wet and you have it hanging out there, the defenders are going to try and punch it out of there every time.
The coach is hoping they get it right here because that could be a big lift to the team.
What the official will be looking for here is to see if the knee is down. It's tough to say with that replay. This one won't be easy.
The call on the field is overturned. No timeout will be charged to Miami.
So the coach looks a lot smarter after getting the play reversed in his team's favor.
It didn't hurt that the official had some great replays to look at, and they made it easy to overrule.
3rd and long. The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him.
42-yard line.
Pressure coming. Interception. The offensive line couldn't do the job, and the pressure forced him to make a bad throw into coverage.
I tell you, you don't get a whole lot easier than that. He was right there. The quarterback makes a bad throw, and he brings it in for an interception.
So after the interception now, it's 1st and 10.
Back off, DB.
Pressure, slings it to the outside. He has room. The fake over. And they beat the blitz on a good throw.
They knew the defense was coming on a blitz, and when the pressure doesn't get to the quarterback quickly enough, somebody's going to be open downfield. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
2nd and 1. Ball on the 48-yard line.
They got nothing. Let's go. Ball. Set.
Dropping back. Gets the pass off. Catch made on the run. The 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown, New York. Just an outstanding pass with a spectacular catch.
Good. That was one heck of a touchdown. Those two can't be stopped out there.
Bryant comes in to attempt the point after. The kick is up, and the extra point is good. Well, they wasted no time in scoring on that drive, and I think the defense has to be wondering what went wrong and what they'll do to avoid it happening again.
Giving up such a quick score can demoralize the defense. Heck, sometimes it's not even their fault if they get put in a bad situation. They just got to buckle down and make sure they don't have a repeat performance the next time they're on the field.
And the kickoff team comes out onto the field.
Number 32.
Should be a return here. From the 8-yard line. The last drive ended with an interception. So let's see what happens as they take over again. First and 10. Ball on their own 29.
Here comes the heat. Lose it. Set.
Using motion. Going to the air on first down. Throws it. He has it. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Miami. A remarkable touchdown play.
Yeah, everything seemed to go right on that one. The quarterback had a good pass, the receiver ran the right route, and the defense didn't seem to have any idea what was going on.
Madden comes in for the extra point. And it's up. And he tacks on the extra point. Big plays make for big scores. And the touchdown drive was a lightning strike taking less than a minute off the game clock.
Anytime you can score quickly, it really boosts your team confidence. And I'll tell you this, when you can do that on offense, it only makes them want to get out there and do it again. And next time, the defense better be ready for him.
And the kickoff team comes out onto the field.
Number 34.
And he got all of that one. A great kick. He takes a knee. No return on that kickoff, and they'll get ready to start the drive at the 20. They'll go from the I formation.
At the 20-yard line. First and 10.
Number 60 sets up, hand it off. 4-yard gain there.
On the carry. Gain of 4 on the play.
Second and 6. Ball on their own 24. Martin in the backfield. Give it to the halfback. Just about 2 yards in the run by the halfback.
Gain of 2 on the play. Third and 5. Ball on the 25-yard line.
Set. Get in there.
The pass right in stride. Fumble. The Jets have it.
Watch it here. This is a great call on third down to keep this drive alive. They were in a tough spot here. This is a heck of a throw and catch to pick up that first down.
Eagle left. Let's go. Come on. Set.
Pass play here on first down. Closing in. Throwing. Room to run. Across midfield. The 30. The 20. The 10. Touchdown, New York. Just an incredible pass by the quarterback.
The quarterback had an open lane to throw the pass, and he got it in there for a touchdown.
The kicker lines up for the point after. And it's on its way. The extra point attempt is good. And so they turn that drive into a great one as it ends with a touchdown.
Hey, these guys deserve to feel good about it. Now it's the defense's turn to come out and do its job.
And the kickoff team comes out onto the field.
Number 32, back deep to
And this one's a short kickoff. From the 15-yard line. They'll head back onto the field looking to duplicate their last drive when they were able to get the ball into the end zone, basically through their passing game. So they have first and 10 here. McMichael in motion.
Get at him.
They give it to the halfback. This tackle steamrolls the defender. Gain of 9 on the play.
On the run, 9-yard gain on the play.
The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him.
On the 37-yard line.
Drop back. Drop. Set.
Using motion.
Ain't got nothing.
Looking upfield. Ellis breaks the play up in the backfield. Williams didn't get any help from his offensive line.
It was just about impossible to run when you have guys in the backfield just as soon as you snap the ball.
Third and 3. Ball on their own 36.
Eagle left.
Feedman sets up. Gets rid of it. Grabs the off-target pass.
Now this is one heck of a play. Look at it. We're in a hole here on third down. And they come through with this perfect play that gets them a first and keeps the drive going.
They'll go from the I formation.
Ball on the 44-yard line.
Man in motion.
Get the ball.
Hands it off again. Keeps his feet moving. About a 4-yard gain there. It's 2nd down and 7 to go. Ball on the 41-yard line. Tucks it away. Minor wasn't able to get anything going on that play.
They got there and shut that play down very quickly. That's just a case of studying game film this week paying off. When you know what they like to run in certain situations, you can anticipate the play call and stop the play before it even gets started.
And we'll start the 4th quarter. New York comes out in their nickel package.
Ball on the 41-yard line.
The defense really bears down on third down.
Dropping back, gets rid of it. Incomplete. The incomplete pass brings up 4th down.
Intended receiver on the play.
Royals is trying to pin their offense inside the 5. Here's the punt. Fair catch called for. That's the goal line. No return here. So they have 1st and 10 here. Ball on their own 20.
Number 16.
Gets set. The Jets using motion. Going to the air on 1st down. Throws it. Almost intercepted. Didn't even see the defender, and it almost ended up as an interception.
Yeah, maybe he was expecting man-to-man, and they dropped into a zone. He threw off his reads and where he thought the defense was going to be.
Catch the ball, man.
Nickelback in this time. Using motion. Under pressure with the pass. Ooh, nearly picked off. I thought that was about to be picked off, John.
Yeah, I think everyone else was thinking the same thing. You don't get a better chance at an interception than he had right there.
The Dolphins line up in the quarter defense. Gets rid of it, and he makes the grab. He picks up more yardage with that completion and now has almost thrown for 300 yards. It's 1st and 10. Ball on their own 38. Mark to the deep man. They give it to the halfback. Loses the defender. Carries it for 6 yards on that play.
Gain of 6 on the play. Second and 4. Ball on the 44-yard line.
Martin. And he's stopped at the 48-yard line. So on the blitz, they can't get to the ball carrier until it's too late.
And when you're blitzing to stop the run, the idea is bringing more guys than the offense can block. We also got to cut off the lanes and gaps that he can use to escape out of the backfield. That just didn't happen here.
Going to the right.
They're not just going to give up on the run, no matter how ineffective it is.
Second and long. Ball on the 50-yard line.
Number 16.
Gets set. Steps up. Throwing. And he hits his target. He's taken down at the 30. That'll move the chains, John.
Yeah, when you put together a great pass with a heck of a catch, that's exactly what you're going to get.
The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him.
On the 30-yard line.
Throwing on first down. Pressure coming. Gets the pass off. They'll move the sticks with that completion.
I'll tell you, he put that one right on the money. They're just out there playing a little pitch and catch.
Tucks it away. And he stopped at the 12. Only a yard by the halfback.
1-yard gain on the play.
And they need about 9.
That's all you.
To the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Santana Moss made a better play on that touchdown catch than his previous one. So they'll try to get the 2 here.
Here come the heat. Get out. Stay out. We'll see.
They'll go with the run once again. The 2-point try is no good.
You only get 1 try at the 2-point conversion. The offense has to be perfect.
Rodgers gets set to return the kickoff as we take a look at his stats. Bryant in to kick this one off.
Up for the kickoff. Number 28, back
And a short kickoff. From the 6-yard line. So the offense takes over, still trying to figure out this defense. The quarterback gets set with only 1 back behind him. The Dolphins using motion. Throwing on first down. And he gets the delayed handoff. Gain of 2. It's second down and 8 to go. Ball on their own 28. Williams, the deep back. He's taken down in the backfield. Nowhere to go that time. The defensive line gets very good penetration.
This line's very aggressive up front. They like to stunt and use power moves to get into the backfield. A lot of teams think that the best way to move the ball on the ground against them is to run it right at them. Try and wear them out. Looks like they might be trying to do that same kind of thing.
The Dolphins line up in the shotgun.
Ball on the 26-yard line.
Dropping back, pressure, throwing. Incomplete pass. That one goes off the receiver's hands and brings up fourth down.
And that's really frustrating for a guy when he knows he could have kept the drive going, but he just couldn't hang on to the pass.
Royal is back to punt. Moss back to return. Here's the kick. From the 49-yard line.
23-yard punt. Return for a gain of 2 yards.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Ball on the 48-yard line. Hand it off. Good gain there and a first down.
If the defense keeps giving up runs like that for first downs, they'll have to make some adjustments to slow this guy down.
First and 10. Ball on the 36-yard line.
Set. Hut. Get down. Hut.
Another run. Marion makes the stop at the 31-yard line. Picks up 5.
On the play.
Using motion.
Give it all you got, kid. Come on.
He'll get the call again. Picks up maybe 3 on that carry. And we've reached the 2-minute mark. Third and a deuce. Martin in the backfield. Hand it off. Trying to find some room in the middle, but there was no place to go.
I'll tell you what happened. The defense was coming with a lot of guys in a run blitz, and the hole that play was supposed to go through was filled with defenders.
So we'll see if the field goal unit can come through here. This is going to be about a 45-yard field goal attempt. And it's up. He missed earlier, and he winds up missing again. The Dolphins line up in the shotgun.
Ball on the 35-yard line.
Eagle left. Set. Hut.
Passing on first down. Throwing. Drops the interception. Very lucky that was an interception.
I'll tell you, he did almost everything right on that one. He was able to read the quarterback's eyes. He got himself in good position to make the interception. And when it got to him, it just bounced off his hand.
The defense doing everything they can to keep this last drive out of the end zone. Closing in. Throws it. Picked off. Room to run. The 30. He saw the blitz coming and just threw it up for grabs.
Hey, when you send a blitz and your guys in the secondary are in good position, that's the kind of thing that's going to happen. The whole defense should get credit for that interception.
This one is just about in the books. So after the interception now, it's 1st and 10.
Poke out right. You got him. Set. Hut.
Martin. Miami will call a timeout here. They have one timeout left.
Fire out.
Number 16.
Sets up.
Come on.
Again with the run. Running with purpose. And he's tackled at the 15-yard line. Gain of about 1.
Snake eyes. Stay out. Get out. Set. Hut. 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 Wrong. Wrong. Hut. Got the ball. Hut. Hit the ball. Hut. 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 Back off, DB.
Cross play to the right. Martin. The Dolphins call a timeout. That's their final timeout. Mark didn't have much to work with on that running play.
That's because the defense did a good job anticipating the snap count. With an aggressive defense like this, a hard count could be an effective way to keep them off balance while trying to draw them off sides.
So they'll probably try to tack on 3 more points and make it tougher for a late comeback attempt. So this field goal attempt will be from about 33 yards away. And it's on its way. The kick sails through the uprights. Well, John, these teams are very evenly matched.
This makes for a better game, I think. The strategy of the game comes into play here more.
Brian is just about ready to kick this one away.
Number 32.
Nice kick. Plenty of distance. I think downing the kick might have been the better option, John.
You can't really fault the returner for trying to make a play for his team. He just needs to be a little more patient while making some better decisions when he decides to bring the ball out.
The Dolphins line up in the shotgun.
1st and 10.
McKnight moves in motion.
Snake eye. Hut. Hut.
Dropping back to pass on 1st down. And it's caught. You can't draw it up any better than that. Textbook 1st down. The coach is having them hurry it up.
Here goes the heat. Take him out.
Spike stops the clock.
You gotta think they'll be going with something in the air here, conserving time while moving downfield for the score.
2nd and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line.
Stay active. We'll see. We got nothing.
The Dolphins using motion.
Hut. Hut. Hut.
Under pressure. Goes with a short pass to the right side. The 40. They'll move the chains with that completion.
Yeah, that was a great recognition by the quarterback, knowing where to go with the football against the blitz and knowing how to get it there.
Hill stopped the clock with the spike. Not much time remaining, and they'll have to get closer for a legitimate shot at getting the touchdown. They line up in the I formation.
Ball on the 48-yard line.
Guns it out to the right. Incomplete. There was just too much pressure on that play.
Putting pressure on the quarterback can disrupt passes, but pressuring the receivers can do the same thing. If you can play physically on the outside, bump them off their routes, hold them up at the line, you can take away his receiving options, forcing him to just get rid of it.
Using motion. He surveys the field. Good protection. Gets the pass off and is intercepted. Mickens was able to move into position and pick it off.
That's just a case of the quarterback locking on to his primary receiver on that play.
With the defense not having all of its timeouts, they'll probably come out and take a knee here on 1st down.
Second and 12. Ball on the 39-yard line.
And time runs out. The game is over. The final score is New York 23, Miami 16. This concludes another EA Sports presentation. For John Madden and Melissa Stark, this is Al Michaels saying so long.